Should hemp, or more commonly known as marijuana, be legalized? I'm sure you guys have all heard this debate at some point in your academic careers, whether it be in high school or in college. Well, through recent events, the Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl, the debate has sprung back up due to the two teams that were in the Super Bowl. Uh, they were from the two states that had recently legalized the plant. And through a combination of old and new facts, I will explain why hemp should be legal for both commercial and medicinal purposes. And to start off, why was hemp made illegal in the first place? Essentially, it was a smear campaign and yellow journalism by William Randolph Hearst and Harry J. Anslinger. And what happened was they both wanted to make money and they wanted to keep that money. Hearst was invested in the timber industry, and he didn't want hemp to be a competitor. He basically wanted a monopoly and wanted to be able to make as much money off of the timber industry as possible. Anslinger was the head of the new government agency, and he wanted to put it to the top of the government to get the government money. So together they got together and created the smear campaign and presented the bill to the U.S. Senate to um, illegalize marijuana. And while they're in front of the committee to hear this bill proposal, there was actually an opposer from the American Medical Association, and he's essentially just swept under the rug. Told he was obstructing justice and obstructing the rights and privileges of young Americans. So after the opposition was swept under the rug, the bill to illegalize marijuana was sent to the Senate floor, and once on the Senate floor, a senator from New York actually stood up and asked, "Hey, is there anybody that's behind this?" And one member of the committee stood up immediately and said, "Yes, the American Medical Association is behind this bill 100%," which was a bold-faced lie. They were completely opposed to it. And for all the reasons that Hearst wanted the plant legalized, he should have actually been pushing for legalization if he wasn't so greedy. Hemp has many physical and chemical properties to it. The physical ones basically allow it to be beneficial for development in the textile and paper industry. The fibers that it's made of are easily split for constructing like paper, cloth, and rope. And hemp paper could easily help alleviate the stress in the paper industry, help to, um, I guess, to satisfy the wants of the naturalists and the eco green people. And hemp rope and cloth could promote competition amongst the textile industry and essentially drive down prices in that region. So instead of going to the store and seeing a t-shirt and like, oh hey, that t-shirt's really nice, and then seeing the price tag on it, $25. Oh no. Yeah, well, with hemp you might be able to drive that price down a good couple of bucks, maybe bring it down to $15-$20. And with hemp being used in these multiple industries, the infrastructure would definitely be there to be able to tax the product. And as a legal industry, hemp could be taxed, and it would offer an additional revenue source for the government. Basically, the government, which is finding itself more and more in a predicament of how do we get out of debt, with the legalization of marijuana and hemp itself, you'd be able to create farms and tax it. I mean, you could still make it illegal to grow it in your home, which would, basically um, create, this, or would help to disprove the fallacy that, hey, that it can't be taxed because it can't be controlled. No, it can be controlled. And you would basically you'd have farms of this stuff, and you would get tax on that, which would be taxed on the farmers, which would then be passed down to you, just like it is with corn and with tobacco and things of that nature. And for those who say hemp is too dangerous, it really isn't, and the numbers actually really do back that up. Uh, for dependency and abuse and addictiveness, even though hemp is addictive, um, it's less addictive than even alcohol. alcohol dependency and abuse, there's 17.6 million people who abuse and depend upon alcohol. Compare that to 4.5 million people who do it with the illegal hemp right now. Now, when you legalize it, of course, that number is going to go up, but to say that it's going to go up a fourfold, I don't think that's going to happen. Actually, it would be a historic first if that were to happen. Now, with hemp turning into its own industry, it makes it easier for hospitals to acquire, log, and distribute marijuana or medicinal hemp, especially to those who qualify for these newfound treatments and therapies that are being proposed to the NCAA and to the NFL, especially, and that is with concussions. And this is the new information that I want to get out to you guys. Basically, hemp has chemical properties, and it's always been researched that oh hey, the stuff that gets you high is the stuff that will help with things like glaucoma and um, terminal cancer and things like that. Helps get rid of the pain and helps to alleviate the hunger pains that go away whenever you go under radiation therapy. Well, those research, yeah, that's still true, and still holds true to this day. But what is recently being found is a new chemical, or not a new chemical, but a new use for one of the chemicals that has been found in hemp, called cannabidiol, is actually a preventative chemical that goes into the brain and actually helps to alleviate brain trauma and will actually help a trauma patient recover much more quickly. And according to multiple studies, this discovery has a profound neuroprotective and brain enhancing properties. Many uh, medical professionals endorse this, and there have actually been letters sent to the commissioner of NFL, Roger Goodell, saying, "Hey, you need to actually get into this and support this because with hemp being a natural plant, there can't be a patent on it. So the CDC and the Drug Administration can't actually patent this, so they will not go for this. So it's going to be up to big industries like NFL and NBA and things like that to support this. And along with and along with that, that will not only help the athletes, but it will help those who have those similar injuries but are not athletes. So say you like hit your head or you get in a car accident or something, the post concussion syndrome or PCS, the marijuana can actually help alleviate those symptoms as well. When when you go to a doctor, they prescribe medicines for it, and then you get off those medicines, and then your symptoms come back. Sometimes they come back twofold or worse. The medicinal marijuana can actually really help alleviate that and treat those symptoms. And say you have a concussion and the symptoms last for a year, there are studies that have reduced that and said the treatments that they do with the hemp actually have reduced that amount from 1 year after a concussion to 3 to 6 months. That's 50 to 75% decrease in time. That's amazing, and it's um, advances like this in medicine and technology that we need to have to be able to help alleviate brain trauma and to actually learn more about our brain. And with this new evidence in hemp, it's getting harder and harder for the government to back up why the plant should be illegal. And we mix in the taxation possibilities, and we could see possible economic upswing. Could help us get out of the economic downturn. Basically, with all this evidence and the new evidence that's coming about, I don't see how the reasons against hemp could possibly outweigh the reasons for him. So with that, I don't see why I personally don't see why hemp should not be legal, and neither should you.